On the way home from work, I discovered a very poor dog lying on the side of the road. Looks like it had an accident because its legs were broken. Oh, how pitiful. It moves very hard, looks very painful and tired. I can't ignore this scene. I have to help him immediately. I immediately turned the car around and stopped next to the dog to check the situation. It looked at me with fear and pain, but didn't have enough strength to run away. I gently approached and said comforting words to reassure it. After that, I found a blanket in the trunk of the car to wrap around the dog and carefully carried it into the car. On the way home, I tried to drive gently to avoid hurting the dog further. I kept talking to it, hoping that my presence and voice would help it feel more secure. Even though it was painful, its eyes were a little less scared. Perhaps it felt my kindness. When I got home, I immediately brought the dog into the living room and prepared a warm, comfortable corner for it. I called a friend who is a veterinarian to ask for advice and help. He said he had to clean the wound and stabilize the dog's leg before he could come in for a closer inspection. I took warm water and a clean towel to clean the wound on the dog's leg. It groaned in pain but showed no signs of aggression or resistance. I carefully bandaged and fixed its leg according to your instructions. While waiting, I prepared some food and water so the dog could recover his strength. About an hour later, my friend came and thoroughly checked the dog's condition. He said the dog suffered broken bones in its hind legs, but luckily none of the injuries were life-threatening. Together we bandaged and splinted the dog's leg. Then he injected painkillers and antibiotics to prevent infection. During the first days, the dog was very weak and could barely move. I spend a lot of time taking care of it and monitoring its condition. Every day, I feed it nutritious food and make sure it drinks enough water. I also regularly check and change its bandages to make sure the wound is not infected. Gradually, the dog's health began to improve. It began to eat better and was gradually able to lift itself up with its front legs. Although the hind leg is still sore and weak, it tries to move a little every day. Every time I see it trying to stand up, I feel very happy because I know that my care is effective. Over time, the relationship between me and my dog becomes closer and closer. I named him Lucky because I felt that meeting and rescuing him was a blessing not only for him, but also for me. Lucky is very docile and obedient. Every time I come close, it always looks at me with eyes full of gratitude and love. Every morning, I take time to take Lucky out to the playground. Although Lucky cannot run and jump like other dogs, Lucky always seems happy and excited every time he goes out. I also regularly massage Lucky's legs to help him reduce pain and recover faster. A week later, Lucky's health has almost stabilized. He eats very well and his legs gradually feel less painful. I decided to keep Lucky and take care of him like a family member. Lucky has become a trustworthy companion and always brings joy to everyone in the house. Every time I see Lucky happy and healthy again, I feel so happy. Helping Lucky is not only a humanitarian act, but also brings me great spiritual values. I learned how to be patient, love, and appreciate the little things in life. I realized that taking care of an injured dog is not just about feeding and treating it, but also about love and care from the heart. Lucky has taught me a lot about patience, sacrifice, and unconditional love. It's always cheerful and happy despite the pain, and that makes me feel emotional and grateful.